actually, right? So just do one thing, go to this particular website, which is ncbi.nlm.nih.gov government, and over there, uh, let's say what we want finally for you to fill this kind of table for a given gene, which we give a gene ID to you. You have to just find out all the information for that given gene and just fill that from this database so that you know how the process works. So this is how the website look like, NCBI. When you go there and you look for or search all databases, uh, and then you are going to look for specifically gene database, let's say, and you are looking at this gene sequence, gene ID, and then from that it pulls out, it is a hemoglobin subunit alpha 2 from the human Homo sapiens. So now you start seeing that how this kind of understanding of any biological gene one could actually initiate, right? So from here now you can look at where it is, on which chromosome it is located. You can get a lot of detail for this particular gene sequence now, where the gene starts, where it ends, what is the exact nucleotide sequence of this particular gene of interest. It is in this case from the human, and what is known about this particular human alpha globin gene, where it is located on chromosome 16. Uh, you are looking at again all the entries record for looking at various other information available for this gene of interest in all the databases. So you can keep clicking on each one of those and find more information. You are now looking at specifically for let's say chromosome 16. What is the size of that? What is the percentage G and C basis over there? So a lot of information you can get for every single gene of interest like that. So if I just give you a gene ID, which is not this one but something else, you should be able to look at this website and try to fill that information. It will give you some feel of doing basic bioinformatics, of knowing about a gene of interest, right? This is how we fill that part. But now let's take something else. So let's say now we want to look at the sequence of this particular gene, and that we want to let's say fill in this particular thing with the FASTA sequence, that is known as FASTA sequence. So if you click on this part here, FASTA, you can get this kind of sequence, right? So this is how that gene sequence looks. We have been talking about sequencing a gene, ATGC contents of that. So it shows that on the Homo sapiens chromosome 16, this gene is located, and this is the entire stretch of that ATGC, which makes it as a unique gene of that particular organism. Now you can enter that sequence in and this is how now you can proceed for the next steps. So next step will be, we want you to now look at the protein even. This was the gene sequence. Now you are looking at the hemoglobin sub unit alpha protein sequence. Now you can also do the BLAST search, which is basic local alignment search tool, which now if you look at here, now you are looking at more protein sequence information. And if you have multiple sequences, let's say the hemoglobin alpha subunit and beta subunit, you want to align those, you can do now the multiple sequence alignment as well, and you can look at how these sequences are common or different. But in this case, let's say you just wanted to know that for this given sequence, this sequence comes from which genome or which organism. So you are going to do this BLAST search, and now it shows you so many hits. When you looked at closely, now it shows you your gene of interest which you wanted to start with, or the protein of interest, hemoglobin alpha. And now you can fill that detail here, that what that protein name comes from. So we will just give you some accession IDs, and you have to do this search of BLAST and find out what that protein is. Again, these are very simple basic exercises, but it will just break that barrier of you to come forward and look into some of the specific search tools which are being commonly used. LCI BLAST is also used to look for evolutionary kind of pattern analysis. And again, one could look at multiple sequence alignments. You found a sequence of interest, how this sequence is common in human and dinosaur and crocodile and other species. Are there certain part which is common, or they are very, very different and unique? So again, now you can look at all those protein accession IDs. You can go to the FASTA sequences. You can obtain each one of the FASTA sequence. Now what you see, not anymore ATGC, but these are amino acid sequences. And you can obtain those amino acid sequence. So now we are looking at, let's say, one particular protein of interest, hemoglobin subunit alpha, how that sequence is in Homo sapiens human, or the Bos taurus, or Mus musculus mouse, Calorinchus meli, or Permosis. So many of different organisms, how this particular sequence looks like. You have done that sequence. Now you go to new tool, Clustal Omega. And here you can try to do multiple sequence alignment. As you can see here, this tool provides you that ability. So all these sequences, you are now trying to see that are they similar or they are different, and how much similarity they have. So each of these dots and these points denotes that are they same or they are different or there's some replacement. So these kind of things actually gives us some idea for evolutionary aspect of the how this particular gene is common or different across different species, and one could make these kind of dendrogram or the phylogenetic trees to obtain that information. So again, one could try to do these kind of sequence alignments and generate this data, which will be interesting exercise for all of you to do that. So I think that's all. This was a quick one, just to make sure that you start doing some activities. We don't want it to give you right now very complex big data set to analyze. Just let's try to go through this slowly, so that you understand, appreciate the basic concepts of this field, as well as know some of the bioinformatics basic tools. And once you start doing that, I'm sure you'll be very comfortable to then take forward those huge data sets which Professor Subnis was talking, which we provided him for the glioma patients and different other data sets which we have. We are doing, in fact, a lot of work on the COVID right now with variety of technologies, and huge amount of data is being generated from a large number of patients. So there is humongous data coming, big data sets are being generated, and we need different expertise, different scientists, different people who can appreciate that data and try to make better sense of that information. So we'll be happy to connect with all of you and see how best all of us can make together the sense
Excuse
of
me, sir.
information. Yes, yeah, please tell me.
Sir, as you told about protein sequence and that DNA sequence.
Yeah.
So the amino protein sequence also different for individual protein.
Yes, so amino acids are individual amino acids together, they make polypeptide chain, and these polypeptides are forming then the proteins. So every protein has unique sequences of amino acids. Short for the genes, we have the unique nucleotide sequence for a given gene. Same way for the protein also we have unique composition of amino acid sequences.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Any other question anybody has? So this assignment I went very quickly. I will share the PowerPoint slides with all of you. Please go through that just so that you are at least start appreciating about different small concepts which we have been talking in the course, and can you make sense of that, and can you get more familiar, and then as we go to the next week, then you'll be more prepared to take the big data set and do some more high throughput analysis. I think that's all for this week. So thank you very much for getting connected, and I'm sure you're all excited to take the lead forward. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarvanan, and all of you. Thank you. Great. Okay, I'll stop the recording and stop the session. Thank you very much, everybody.